Good. So welcome everyone and good evening to all our followers. We are having today a Facebook Live session about scholarship opportunities offered by Alexander von Humboldt Foundation. My name is Christine Rosenberger. I'm the head of the Press and Culture section here in the German Embassy. Welcome and thanks for joining us. In fact, this is the second Facebook Live session which we dedicate to scientific scholarship options offered by Germany. We had a first session, and maybe some of you were part of that, with the head of DART, of the German Academic Exchange Service. That was last month, where we focused on scholarship opportunities for master and PhD programs. So should you have any questions on master or PhD scholarship opportunities, then I would recommend you to have a look at our YouTube channel of the German Embassy, where you can find that video from December last year. And maybe we can also post the link below in the comment section for you to find that session as well. So in today's sessions, we will exclusively focus on scholarship options for scientists who have already completed a PhD. So scholarship for fresh PhDs, for senior researchers or faculty members. And I'm very glad to have Dr. Samina Mehnaz with us today for this session. Dr. Samina is a professor and chairperson at the School of Life Sciences at FC College in Lahore. And she is at the same time, and since 2016 already, the first Humboldt ambassador scientist of Pakistan. She has completed her PhD in microbial ecology and went to Germany twice for research as an Alexander von Humboldt Fellow herself. So that was in 2012 and 2019. And before I hand over to Dr. Samina, I would like to say a few words about the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation itself. Because some of you might know Alexander von Humboldt, who is the person behind the name of this foundation. He was a nature researcher and an explorer who lived from the mid of the 18th century until mid of 19th century. By the way, he was 90 years old when he died, so he was quite old. And he became particularly famous for his 5 years long journey to Latin America, where he conducted in-depth research encompassing physical geography, climatology, ecology, botany, and oceanography. And he is widely regarded as a universal genius and cosmopolitan. So the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, which is named after him, was initially established already in 1860, but then after the war, it was re-established in 1953. And it is mainly funded by the Federal Foreign Office and the Federal Ministry of Education and Research. And its main task is to promote international academic cooperation between excellent scientists and scholars from Germany and abroad. And right now, there are around 30,000 AVH fellows worldwide, and they are called Humboldtians. And if you are interested to become a Humboldtian, then there is only one criteria that counts, which is academic excellence. There are no quotas, neither for individual countries nor for particular academic disciplines. And after this short introduction, I would like to hand over to Dr. Samina, who will now give us an overview over the scholarship opportunities that are offered from the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation here in Pakistan. So Dr. Samina, thanks again for being with us today. And I would like to invite you to give us and our followers an overview about scholarship opportunities.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. And thank you, Christine, for the introduction of AVH Foundation and as well as my introduction. I think you have told the main things about the AVH fellowship. The one important thing that there is no quota for any country. There is no quota for any subject. What matters is that you has to be good. So first, I would start with as suggested by Christine, that I should talk mainly about eligibility criteria for this fellowship, application process, and selection process. Eligibility criteria, the most important thing I would like to say that whenever anybody does PhD, and then we start looking for postdoc fellowship, and then some people who have already done the postdoc fellowship, they think, oh, I am too old, I should not try to find another one. For AVH Foundation, age does not matter. at how old you are, it is not important. It offers fellowships for almost every age. There are different fellowships and awards. I will start with the fresh one, that if you have done your PhD or submitted your thesis and still don't have your degree in your hand, but thesis is submitted, you are eligible for applying for AVH Foundation if you have good publication record. So here, what you mean by good publication record, it's not only about impact factor, because I have received the question already sent by embassy, that somebody asked about the what do you mean by good publication. So impact factor, yes, it's good, but if you do not have paper in impact factor, but they are the good journals such as the good publishers. There are many journals published by Springer, even Nature, and Taylor and Francis and Elsevier, which are new, but they do not have any impact factor. So if you have published in them, it's good. Considering new PhD, it's important that how many papers you have published from your thesis. In application, they specifically ask that which publications and how many publications are from your thesis. So for postdoctoral fellowship, this is the first fellowship they offer, and you can apply for that within 4 years of your PhD. Okay, and this is the best thing fresh PhD can join, and you do not have to have a long list of publication. 3 to 4 good publication with a fresh PhD give you a good chance to apply for that. With the process, I will talk later. I will just start first is the postdoctoral fellowship. So it is within 4 years of completion of your PhD. If it's more than 4 years, then you are eligible till 12 years of your PhD. But then it's a bit tough because they expect that you should be at least assistant professor or leading a small research group. And then definitely they expect a very good publication profile. Okay. Third one is that if you are within 15 years of completion of your PhD, then you can apply for Max Planck Humboldt Research Award. If it is within 18 years of completion of doctorate, you can go for Friedrich Wilhelm Bessel Research Award. And after that, if it's more than 18 years, then there are bigger research awards like Humboldt Research Award, George Foster Research Award, Alexander von Humboldt Professorship. Now, starting with again from the beginning, that what we cover in postdoctoral research. All these postdoctoral and experienced researchers, first thing, like any postdoc fellowship, you have to find a host there. Find a German professor in your area, and you have to write a research proposal with his consent, with whatever kind of research you want to do, and their skills and the work going on in the lab should match with you. And then you will write a joint project, which means that his input and his consent, that he's willing to accommodate you in his lab, is very important. So this is the most important thing. Next thing is that everything is online. There is no deadline for the application. You can, whenever you find a professor, just write a project and start filling your application. What is important in application? They have different questions, and there should be something which you cannot find in your country. I mean, the expertise, or which is important for the development of your country. So these are the two questions they ask you when you are filling the application. What else was important? Yes, some people believe that if you don't know German, or if you are not willing to learn German, your application will not be accepted. This is not the case. You should know at least English. If you know German, it's a good thing. It will help you in settling in the Germany, but it has nothing to do with the application success. And it's always give you an edge that if you go to a country and know their language, it would be helpful for you. AVH does offer the language fellowship, which will be other than your postdoctoral fellowship. So you can take 2 month course, 4 month course, or maximum 6 month language course, which will be completely paid by the AVH Foundation. But if you do not want to take the German language course, you can opt it. I would suggest that if you really do not know even a little bit of German, it's good that you go for the 2 months language course. So it will be helpful for you to take transport, doing shopping, and all that. Sticking to the same, that postdoctoral fellowship, if you get this fellowship, if you when you apply for it, it takes 4 to 7 months in the processing. They schedule 2 to 3 meetings in a year, and you will be acknowledged when you will submit the application. And then the person who will acknowledge your application, he or she will stay in touch with you. If you got any email from them that now we are going to review your application, before that, even you have submitted the application, but you got some more paper accepted, you got any national level award, they can you can inform them, and they will keep on updating your application. Once they tell you that we are going to put it in the review, then you cannot further update. Two reviewers, they send it to two unknown reviewers. They must be expert of your field. You cannot get information about them. By all means, these are confidential. They will the decision will be disclosed to the committee, and then they will inform you. 700 research fellowship and awards are granted every year in all these categories. Okay. Luckily, if you get this fellowship, then you can stay there minimum 6 months, maximum 2 years, but it has to be in a go if you are a fresh PhD. If you are a senior person, like you did your PhD more than 4 years ago, less than 12 years ago, then you can stay for 1.5 year, but then it's flexible. You can split it into 3 years. So like you can go for one semester there and one semester there. Then stipend is definitely different for both fellowship. There are additional benefits. If you take your family, they will pay you some extra for your life partner and for your kids. They pay you travel lump sum. And the good thing, everybody tell me that finding host is very difficult. And I tell them that please, when you are contacting a professor, do not write that you are looking for a postdoc fellowship. Please write that you are looking for a AVH, you are looking for a host for AVH fellowship, because if he will accept you, he will not be paying you anything. It would be foundation who will be paying you. And in addition, his lab will be getting more money. If you are from science, he will be getting 800 euros per month. If it is the social sciences, he will be getting 500 euro per month. So as long as you will stay there, they will keep on paying you. How much amount you will get, I mean, that's really important, that what you will get in terms of money, that's 2,670 euro per month if your PhD was completed in less than 4 years, 3,170 euro per month if your PhD was done more than 4 years ago but less than 12 years ago. This amount is tax free, and I have lived in Freiburg, the most expensive city, and I have lived in the Bonn, also an expensive city. This amount is good enough if you spend sensibly. I mean, you can reasonably live a good life with this money. And I'm telling you that no one pays you this much amount. I have availed 4 postdoc fellowships in different countries. It's really nice amount they pay you. What else is important? Yes, when you will start finding or filling application, there will be 2 categories. On the web page, it's very helpful for you. You don't have to remember all those categories which I'm telling you. Just open the AVH page. It will ask you that the year of the PhD, your current country of residence, currently where are you living, and then what is your career stage. You are a fresh PhD, or you are assistant professor, or whatever you are. And then it will show you all the things where you are eligible. So you can take your chance. Now, here is a tip for you. You will find 2 things. One is AVH fellowship. Second is the George Foster Fellowship. Both are under the umbrella of AVH. So you don't think that if you are applying for George Foster, it is not AVH. It is AVH. The difference is that if you apply for AVH fellowship, you are competing with the whole world. If you are applying for George Foster Fellowship, you are competing with 72 countries, 72 developing and emerging countries. And we are lucky now that India and China is not included into it. When I applied, they were included. and the both countries were taking 30% each, 30% each, and rest of the 70 countries were struggling with the 40%. Now these two countries are not in the developing countries anymore, so you got more chance. Your Middle East is included, Asia is included, so there are more chances that you will get it. What else is important? Because then we can switch to the question answer session. Fellowship money you will get, travel lump sum you will get, family allowance you will be provided a study tour of 15 days for the all over the country, and your life partner can travel with it. Kids are mostly not allowed. Then there was, okay, the research award. I will just quickly cover with those. For research award, you cannot apply yourself. It has to be through nomination. So you have to find a good professor who is willing to nominate you. And for that, you need a very strong CV, of course. And here again, there is the Humboldt Research Award and George Foster Research Award. So competing with the whole world or competing for the 72 countries, it is for the senior people. And if you get a George Foster Research Award, you can stay there 6 months to 12 months, and it can be split up into the smaller, like for you go for 2 months and then you stay back home, and then you can go for 3 months, and amount you will get will be 60,000 euro, and you can get 25,000 euro more. I will leave it on Christine, but just one more thing, that why one should go for AVH? Why not try Fulbright or the, I do not know, I have not taken Fulbright. But alumni benefit is very high, that once you come back, depending on, for Pakistan at least, when you are coming back, you will get a return fellowship, which is a 66,500 euro to start your work here. Then you can go back to Germany after every 3 years for 3 months, and you will get the similar amount of the scholarship and all the benefits in the same after every 3 years. You can apply for a equipment subsidy grant. You will get 20,000 euro for the equipment. You can apply for a research linkage grant, which is 55,000 euro, and then you can apply for conference organization, for the workshops. So these are the benefits which actually convince me more and more to spread out the news about it, because there were many alumni in Pakistan. Till today we have, I think, 150 AVH fellows, so you can imagine that how competitive it is. But the problem is that the most of the people, they do not even know about its existence, and the people who availed it, they don't know that how much benefit alumni can get. Okay, that's all from my side. If there are any questions, so you can ask me.
Thank you very much, Dr. Semina. I think that was already a very, very good overview about the different options there are with AVH scholarships. You mentioned, maybe I would like to also ask one question, because
Sure.
I think it might be also interesting to the followers and the viewers who are watching us. So what would be your recommendation? Because you yourself went to Germany twice, you know the process and you know the formalities. So what would be your recommendation to find a host institution? What would you recommend the people who are interested to apply for the scholarship to find a host?
I have shared 2 slides already with Ayaz when I was supposed to present it last time. I do not know if Ayaz have it. I can, if Ayaz can find it, it would be good. If you go on the AVH website, they have given a full page with different websites from where you can find it.
Okay.
What stand this is? I don't know if you can read it. Look for a host in Germany.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know if we can share it in a few moments. We have it here too. So yeah, maybe you would like to elaborate on
Just
that.
go through it. Yes, it says you that you can find it through the Humboldt Foundation network online, because all the people who are alumni, they are there. You can help you for that. Eurexis is a website, and then there are some other the website address is there, which can be shared later. How I found my host, I can share that with you. When you
Yeah.
are doing your PhD, when you are doing the research in your field, you are always reading literature, right? You have to stay up to date about your area. So look at there that which work is or which papers are from the German labs, and you contact those professors. That's how I found my professor, because asking people, finding randomly is not a good idea. And Germany has so many universities that and not only universities, you can go to all the research centers. Helmholtz, you can apply, and there are other, I just forgot the name, different research institutions. It's not only universities, so there are more than 300 institutions where you can find the people. And the best way again is there that you look into the scientific literatures, find the which professor is doing the work into it, and please do not write postdoc fellowship. Write to them that you are looking for George Foster fellowship. And yes, this
So
slide,
here
it tells you that
we see the slides
all the
exactly.
yeah. So these are the universities: Max Planck Institute, Fraunhofer Institute, Helmholtz Center, Leibniz Institute. So you can count them, that how many are there. I think 300 plus. And the next slide, Ayaz, if you can go to that. Yes, this slide I was talking, that how you can find it. These are the websites. The audience can take a screenshot and they can find it.
Hmm.
But I
Good.
think the best will be the one which I'm telling you, that if you are fond of literature, which you have to be, if you are a researcher or a teacher, then you should stay up to date. Just look for the German researchers and contact them, and write down that you are looking a host for George Foster Fellowship. I expect that they will let you know quickly. And when
Okay.
you are contacting them, do put a short CV with that. Okay.
Hmm. Good. Thanks for that recommendation. I think indeed the scientific literature is very important to find the important scientists on the topic you're working with. So that's a very good recommendation. I have seen in the comments section some questions about visa, and I guess. That's directed to the embassy. So I would like to take up that question to tell you that for scholarships or scholarship holders who have a scholarship from a German organization, we have a kind of fast track visa procedure. So if you are a scholarship holder, for example, an AVH scholarship holder, that also applies for DART scholarships, which we talked about in the Facebook session last month. So if you are a scholarship holder of a German organization, then you would get your visa quite quickly. So you don't have to don't have to wait for a long time to get your appointment. It normally the visa section would normally give you the appointment within some 2 to 3 weeks, and then you would have some another probably 2 to 3 weeks to get the visa issued. So all in all, there is a kind of priority lane for scholarship holders. So mostly scholarship holders don't have a problem with getting their visa once they have this scholarship from a German organization. Then I would maybe also like to ask a question, because this was also one of one comment in the comment section. I don't know if you have some more information about options for medical doctors. Is it also covered by AVH?
Not less than PhD. So if you are a medical doctor and you have a PhD, then yes, you are eligible. Without PhD, no. Doctors and engineers with the PhD degree, yes, they are eligible. All the social sciences people, all humanities people, everybody is eligible. Even I have given a talk in business department. They were asking same question. So I told them that there is just first thing, you should have a PhD. Doesn't matter in which field. Uh, One thing I wanted to point out, that if you have applied and you got rejected, so your selection was not done. If it is still less than 12 years, or if it is still less than 4 years, and you improve your CV, you can apply it. So when you will get a rejection, they will tell you that after how much time you can apply. I think it's a 1 year or 1.5 years. So you improve your CV and compare your CV before sending the applications, that how much better it is from my previous CV. So then you can apply it again. The other thing, the question which was shared by the embassy with me, there was one question somebody asked, that he or she is already in Germany, so can they apply for the postdoc immediately? No, you cannot. You have to come back. You have to spend 2 years out of the Germany, and then you can apply. Immediately from PhD doing from German university, you cannot apply for the aviation. You are not eligible for that. There should be a gap.
Okay. Good. So maybe one last question before we come to the next part, because we also have former scholarship holders with us in a few moments. But maybe one last question before. What about the English language? The English language certificates which you would need to bring. There is one question: should we need to clear the IELTS or TOEFL to study PhD? And no, okay.
It's not for PhD because it's a postdoc fellowship. But I remember when I applied, it was almost 11 or 12 years ago. So I got a document signed by the head of the English department that I can speak and communicate well in English. So you don't need IELTS or anything for that, but you should be eligible for that. And I believe that you will find a document there in which you have to get signature from some reasonable person who can certify. So English department will be the best to tell you that. And I would, but if you have done any German course, any German language course in Pakistan, do provide the certification of that. That will be helpful.
Okay, good. So now we would move on to the next part of this session. At first, we have Dr. Irshad Bibi with us here. She is a George Foster postdoctoral research fellow. She's now assistant professor at the University of Agriculture in Faisalabad. So, Dr. Irshad, thank you very much for joining us. And maybe you could share some of your impressions about your research stay in Germany, how you liked it, how it was maybe helpful for your further career, and maybe also how it impacted your further career here back in Pakistan.
Thanks very much, Christine, and it's great to see yourself, and it's great to see Dr. Samina, Dr. Fahim. It reminds me of our meetings regarding this alumni, thing, and it's really great thing. First of all, I have, quite a good exposure of the international world, having done PhD from University of Sydney, having one postdoc from Australia as well, but never got invitation for this sort of alumni meeting and all that. So I feel like, half German, half Pakistani by now. And regarding my experience, I think I'll limit my talk to the points that I received in that email. So how did I get in touch with my host professor? So I would agree with Dr. Samina that, keeping in touch with the literature is very helpful. In fact, I am a geochemist, so I am a member of the Geochemistry Society. That is an international society, and I'm used to get an international journal known as Elements. So at that time, I was looking for a postdoc fellowship, and I received my issue of the that journal, and I'm used to browse through all the latest literature in my field, and that's how I got to know my host professor. He published a very good article in that issue, in that particular issue, and I thought, why not send him an email and ask him if he is willing to host me in Germany. And with just one email, with one good structured email, he replied to me and he said, yes, why not? Because he was a Humboldt fellow himself in America. So that's how I got to know my professor. And since that day, I am in contact with him. And he came to Pakistan for as a keynote speaker at my university for a conference as well. And since that day, I always, keep in touch with him. And regarding my experience, career-wise experience, I think those were the two best years of my professional career. I was at University of Bremen, and I got to work on an instrument known as vertical scanning interferometer, which is like only 2 or 3 instruments in the whole world. So I had that, golden opportunity to use that instrument to do some high-class research, which I could not have done if I would not have known this fellowship and achieved this fellowship. So that was one career highlight for myself. I did get the opportunity to attend quite a few conferences while I was there. In fact, the biggest conference, Goldschmidt, which is like for geochemists, it's a dream come true. So I was able to attend that conference when I was in Germany. And then the benefits that you get after the fellowship, I came back and I applied for this equipment subsidy. And now I have a brand new FTIR, which is a great instrument, In fact, I'll be sending an email to Christine to, if Corona SOPs allow German embassy, then please visit us and we do some inauguration of that instrument, because it's installed now and it's working. So I would like to, start the official opening with your hands. And that's that. And what else I can tell you? Yeah, a few points. There was one mistake that I made, that I didn't go for German language course. I think that is really important. I didn't go because of some personal reason. My son, he was too young, so you cannot take your kids when you are doing German course. But afterwards, for the fellowship, you can take your kids as well. So knowing a little bit of German really helps. Otherwise, I would say Germany is one of the best places in the world to live with your family, because if you are under this fellowship, you are well paid. You get a lot of, enough money to spend a good life. And one more highlight, you get an opportunity to travel to other European countries very easily. Mobility is very easy once you are in Germany. So you have gains regarding, some sightseeing and all those wonderful meetings that AVH has the schedule to organize in different parts of Germany. So I had the opportunity to go to Freiburg. I had the opportunity to spend 3-4 days in Berlin, and a few other meetings as well. So let me see if there is anything else I can. Until today, I am, still in touch with my professor. In fact, I already got a 3-month research stay once more, and I'll be hopefully visiting my professor again for 3 months, because I wanted to do some more research on those wonderful instruments that I have used in this fellowship. Published some very good work in some very good journals. So that helps me a lot. And in fact, I'm going to be promoted very soon as associate professor. And all of this wonderful work that I have worked in Germany as part of this fellowship has really helped me in building up my CV. So whenever I meet someone who has freshly done a PhD, I always suggest them for this fellowship.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
So thank you very much, Dr. Yeshad, for sharing with us your impressions and experiences about Georg Foster scholarship. thanks again. All the best wishes to you for your further career, and hopefully I'll see you soon in Faisalabad when we inaugurate your new equipment. Then hopefully soon.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. So as a next fellow, I would like to invite Dr. Fahim. Good afternoon, Dr. Fahim. Thanks for joining us. Dr. Fahim is currently a professor and chairman at the Department of Botany in the University of the Punjab in Lahore. He was a Georg Foster Research Fellow at Leibniz University in Hanover. And he was there for a 6-month research visit in 2019 and 20. So thank you very much for joining us. And maybe you could also share your ideas and impressions about your research stay in Germany, how it helped you, and maybe how also you're maybe still in touch with your host university in Germany.
Well, thank you very much, Christine. And I can see the other colleagues also, Samina and Irshad, and I'm really pleased to be here with you this afternoon. And thank you very much for asking me to have my say here today. But as I see, many points have already been taken care of. So I'll be sticking to only a couple of those which I believe are important, and I'll try to be brief as well. So as Dr. Samina also pointed out, I would focus on one thing, which is that the prospective applicants, they need to be preparing their applications well in advance. And when I say well in advance, it means that it should be at least a year ahead of their planned trip to the German institutions. And this also includes searching for your potential host, because my tip for you will be not only that you can see all those details on the AVH website, but you can also keep in touch with some German colleagues first, with whom you might have interacted somewhere, maybe, for example, in a conference setting. And when you go there in Germany, during your research stay, I would advise the prospective applicants and researchers to try to be very independent, yet interactive. Be a part of a greater team with open mind and play your part to the best of your abilities with great scientific integrity. Take part in meetings and group discussions as far as possible. Don't behave in a manner as would an alien do. One thing that I would like to say, Christine, is that accommodation is one major aspect that needs to be taken into account. So, you know that an affordable, nice accommodation as per your needs is important. To provide you with a peace of mind, I would recommend that you begin with your accommodation application as soon as you get this prestigious fellowship. And I know that many German institutions help you with this. On a personal note, because I have that experience, I would say that and suggest that if possible, take your family along during the research stay. Don't worry, as Dr. Samina has just mentioned, that you will get an additional funding to support your family. In this way, you will enjoy your research stay without the hardship of being away from your spouse and children, and they will also have a chance to broaden their living experience. And then I guess it's very important that you enjoy your overall living in Germany. The key being opening up your own mind, understanding a very vibrant, culture-rich German society, and rather becoming a part of it. And finally, Christine, I would say that everyone who is a Humboldt Fellow knows that research done in German institutions is both a great experience and it's very rewarding. Don't miss the opportunity, I would say, to the potential applicants. Don't miss the opportunity to explore your potential. Give yourself a chance to be part of Humboldt family by applying for a research stay in Germany for which you are eligible. So thank you very much. Over to you, Christine.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fahim, for joining us and for being part of this session. I think it's always helpful to also have several former fellows with us here in these different sessions to also hear what they have experienced during their stay in Germany. So thanks also for the tips and recommendations you gave to the audience. So indeed, starting at an early stage to prepare everything, I think that is key. So you should be able to think about your research projects at an early stage. So I think that is a very helpful recommendation. Thank you, Dr. Fahim, and greetings to Lahore. And we will now, Dr. Samina, maybe start the next round of questions and answers. I have to say that in the comment sections there are also a lot of questions about masters and PhD programs. And I once again, maybe for those who have joined us at a later stage, today's session is dedicated to postdoctoral opportunities for scholarships. So we are not talking about PhD and master's programs, but for this master's and PhD programs, I would like to recommend you to have a look at the December session, which we had with the DART head of DART office here in Islamabad, which you will find on the embassy's YouTube channel. I think we have already posted it, the link to that session. So maybe scroll up a bit and you will find the link to that session as well. Now, maybe one question regarding the equipment subsidies. You already mentioned that this is an option also for former or for fellows, for Humboldtians who went on a research stay to Germany and then come back to Pakistan. So, what would you have to do to apply for such an equipment subsidy?
Nothing special. If you are a Humboldtian, you are eligible. But I do not know about any application which was not successful. As many people I know, whoever applied, they got it. But I think you should be wise. When you apply for the equipment subsidy grant, all you have to do is you write a small proposal, very simple. You don't need any format or anything. You have to tell the AVH Foundation that why do you need that equipment, for what purpose. It should be related to your research project, what you are doing. So your publications should reflect that you need this equipment or you have used it in Germany. And then you have to provide 3 quotations for whatever equipment you want to buy. If it's a 1 piece of equipment or 2 or 3, you will provide 3 quotes for every equipment. And the good thing about it is that if you get this grant, then if the company is based in Germany, then foundation will pay them directly and you will receive the equipment. If the product is made somewhere else, like I can give you my example. I just got equipment grant and I applied for 3 equipments. So 2 are made in Germany, so that will be easy. Foundation will pay them directly. 3rd equipment is from France. So what I will do that my institution will pay for that. I will get the equipment and then I will submit the receipts to the AVH Foundation. They will transfer the money to the German embassy and German embassy will give this money to my institution. So it's up to you how smart you are. If you are picking an equipment which is manufactured in Germany, it would be very easy. But if you don't pick the country, which is not Germany, equipment is made somewhere else, or you have to import it like from Canada or US, then your institution should be willing to pay like in advance and then they will get the reimbursement. So I am getting 1 equipment from the money of my institution, which will be reimbursed to me. That's how it works.
Okay,
good.
good.
One thing I forgot about when I was talking about applications, important thing is that when you upload your application online, they ask you for the shortest CV, mostly 2-page CV. You have to be smart enough what you are putting here and what you are deleting. They ask for the list of publications separately so that you can do. What else other than publication? You have to mention into it all the important things. When you send your CV to your host, because one recommendation letter will be asked from your host and it carries very specific questions. So to host, please do not send the short CV. When you send the CV to your host, it should be a detailed CV. Every achievement, every important achievement of your life should be mentioned into it, because he has to write a very detailed letter that why he said yes to you, why he is willing to accept you. And another tip will be that if you find a host, it would be better that you already start doing some project with him, like some kind of collaboration. That's how I did actually. It was just, I mean, it was not planned. It ended up like that. That we started, and he thought that AVH is very competitive. Let's start some work together. We did some work, and when I submitted my application, already data was there. Some results we have already shown. So I think that that always makes some more sense and make your application strong. So if you can do it in that way as well.
Good, thank you. So I think maybe we could also talk a bit about the alumni work, because it was also mentioned in one of the comments. So I could say from the German embassy side that we are also trying to build the alumni network, not only of AVH fellows but also DART fellows and scholarship holders from other German funded German scholarships. So this is one aspect maybe of the alumni work which the German embassy here in Islamabad is doing. And then maybe, is there anything, Dr. Samina, which you can mention from AVH side? Is there also a kind of network and regular meetings among Pakistani alumni here in the country?
Since when we become the part of that regional coordinator thing, we try to hold some meetings through the embassy as well. We did have that Facebook group, we have WhatsApp group. But alumni meeting, when I was not even ambassador, I tried to hold one meeting. So the hassle I have seen there is that people outside your city, they are not interested to travel. I did manage to get people from Faisalabad and Islamabad, but that was fully supported by the AVH Foundation. They paid the travel reimbursement. So they were not paying for the stay. That's why I could not invite the people from Karachi. So this is the thing. It depends that in your city you have many alumni, such as Karachi have large number of alumni, Islamabad have large number of alumni, Lahore, I know that we have 15 to 20 people. So it's not only about gatherings, at least we can connect with each other and we know each other and we help each other in different directions. And we also try to guide other people to how to apply for this fellowship. So not only that, when I became ambassador, I always try, when I was not even ambassador, I try to spread out the word to encourage more Pakistanis to apply for this grant. When I was listening views by Irshad and Fahim, nobody mentioned about annual meeting of AVH Foundation. This is what I enjoyed most. Every year, AVH Foundation organize meeting in summer. Its dates are, I think, always fixed. It's happened in June in Berlin, and it's the gathering of around 1,500 to 2,000 people, and you get a chance to meet President of Germany. So you can stand with him, so that close. And then one first day, I think you get a chance to meet Angela Merkel. But Angela Merkel, you just listen to her, you can see her, you cannot interact with her. But with the president of Germany, he will be just standing there. People go there, even kids go there, get pictures. It's very honorable thing. I haven't seen it anywhere else. So president will be your host, and it's more like high tea kind of thing. And alumni, their families, even kids, they are all invited there, and they do it every year, very regularly every year.
I guess that's a very
I enjoy it.
memorable experience. Very good. Maybe
Not
because
met
you
our
mentioned that.
president.
Maybe because you mentioned that you always try to spread the word about these AVH scholarship opportunities. Also, maybe to mention that you are also traveling around the country, maybe not during Corona times, but in normal times, you are also trying to visit universities, and maybe also if there is some university representative here in our audience right now who would like to invite you to maybe also present AVH scholarship and funding opportunities at their university, maybe just leave a comment in the comment section, and we will try to put you in contact. So maybe that would also be a good opportunity to spread the word, because I think these kind of information sessions are regularly organized by you, and you have already traveled to many universities. So hopefully we can, or you can take up this habit then after Corona is over.
Even during Corona, if you want me, we can do online sessions. I am available for that. I can manage that. So rather than waiting that once Corona will be over, you cannot see me in person, but you can see me talking like that. So I can spread the word, because there are many universities where I could not go because I do not have any contact. I could travel only those universities where I knew somebody or some Humboldtian, so they organized my talk. So if anybody who think that their faculty or their fellows should also know, or they want more detailed information, then I'm available. Please do contact me.
Good. So maybe then we will share your contact with the people who might be interested from different universities, and I think. Otherwise, if you have anything more to add, which you might think that you might have forgotten in this already very extensive talk, then you are invited to do so. Otherwise, I would say we leave it with this for the time being. This was already a long session, so I would say thanks to everyone who joined us. And maybe do you have any last word to add? Any maybe incentive or otherwise any hints or tips to the followers who are watching this session?
I mostly suggest, which sometimes become very hectic for me, that I receive a lot of emails that kindly help us to find the host. This is one thing which honestly I cannot do. Not only that I don't have time, I really do not know many people in other people's areas. So you do it yourself. But if you think that before applying, you want any guidance, that sometimes people send me their CVs and I can guide them accordingly, that looking at the CV, I can tell you that you should try right now, or you may build your CV a bit more. I can help you into that if you think that you have everything and want to go and you just want to share CV with me before sending it to a professor, because normally what professors are doing, they will look at your CV and they will tell you that are you ready for that, or are you competent enough for that. So if you want me to look at your CV and advise you that is it the right time to go for it, I will try my best to help you in that aspect.
Good. Thank you so much. Thanks for your kind willingness to be with us here today in this Facebook Live session. Thanks a lot to Dr. Irshad and Dr. Fahim for also sharing their views and their experiences with us. And of course, thanks a lot to all the viewers here, to our followers on our Facebook Live, on our Facebook page. So thanks for joining us. We will also post this recorded session later on our YouTube channel, so you might also access it at a later stage, maybe to get some more information which you might not have listened to during the session. Maybe you joined us later. So we will do that in the comment section here under this post, and you can just click on the link and watch the video again. So thanks again. Thanks, Dr. Samina. Thanks to everyone, and have a wonderful evening. I think we will also follow up this series of Facebook Live sessions next month. So hopefully we will then also have other scholarship opportunities that will be presented here on our Facebook page. So thanks again. Have a nice evening and all the best for you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.